back to CBC Sports coverage of the 1995 World Figure Skating Championships from Birmingham, England. Here again is Chris Cuthbert with Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini.
Welcome back to the NEC Arena. The first medals of the 95 World Figure Skating Championships will be awarded tonight in the pairs competition. Here are the Canadian champions, Michelle Menzies, Jean-Michel Bombardier. Their focus not medals, but currently 11th after the short program, trying to get Canada into the top 10 so we can send two pairs to next year's Worlds in Edmonton, and that would take a load off their training for next year.
Well, the door is open here because the Australian team just skated. They did not have a great performance. They're in 9th place. So if these two put down a clean skate, I think they can move into the top 10. They open here with the double axels. Triple twist.
One arm overhead. It's important for them to skate well in the early part of this program, which they are doing up to this point, because she is just coming off a bout of the chicken pox. She's been weak, and I think fatigue could play a role here. So they need to get their quality material in now. Here's Torchable Salchow.
Wow. I think those chicken pox really set them back because they were skating really well. And then suddenly, out of the blue, the chicken pox really threw a loop into things for them. But they're really starting out well here tonight. Now the throw double axel. Good.
Well, this team underwent a coaching change this year. They decided to leave Quebec. They were training with José Picard, who had coached Isabelle and Lloyd. They moved to the Mariposa Club in Barrie, working with Lee Barkel. And they seem a much more relaxed team. I think they're happier in their new location. They've had a good year of training, and I think they're reaping the benefits of that out here this evening.
They have a much more mature look to their skating. They've been working with choreographer Marina Dueva. Problem on those double axles. Jean-Michel did a single there on the flip.
year, she was really struggling. She had no energy, no zip, and she skated this program very confidently and has really done herself proud, I think. Done them both proud.
A very solid performance. They should be very pleased with that.
Skated like national champions tonight, hoping for a top 10 finish. And we'll have their marks when we come back to Birmingham.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Mel.
Hey, Barry, third chair.
Jean-Michel's mother is here, and his fiancé, who happens to be Jose Quinard. Technical marks, 4.9 up to 5.2.
I don't think there's any doubt that this should move them up in the standings.
5051.
And now the second set of marks, they have first place ordinals from 5 of the judges, seconds from 3 and a third, but they are ahead of the cars right now. So it looks like it could be a top 10 finish as we join Gene Semp in the judges' seat.
Pair skating is a challenge to judge because there are 2 people to watch on the ice at one time. It gets particularly difficult if the skaters are far apart from each other. Judges look for pair teams who are not just strong individual skaters, but who move as a unit and who are capable of performing the pair elements equally well. It's easy to recognize pair teams who can jump well, as in these side-by-side triple toe loops, and who can also spin well, as single skaters do. But the true test of a pair team is how well they perform the pair elements together. Pair lifts are one example, and an area judges will focus on. The difficulty of the lift, any innovative positions within it, and how well it's executed is important. Versus a lift that is less difficult, has no variation in the air, and lacks flow on the landing. Death spirals are another pair element for comparison. They should be well controlled, have one full rotation in position, and exit gracefully. Pair spins, where the couple spins holding on to each other, is another pair element to consider. Innovative positioning while maintaining spinning speed is important. Throws, where the woman is propelled into the air by the man, is a risky pair element, but again, one that requires teamwork to be successful. Solo jumps and spins aside, pair elements are what make pair skating different from single skating. Strong individual skaters with weaker pair elements will not be as successful as teams capable of performing both entities well. Then the program is balanced. The best pairs will be able to couple their individual strengths with the teamwork necessary to perform the true pair elements.
The judges' seat with Gene Semp is brought to you by the Royal Bank. Top 5 pairs remain, and the American hopes are with Jenny Mino and Todd Sand, who are in 5th place. Said they really didn't understand some of the marks they got in the short program. But are hoping for a repeat of what they did at the National Championship, 6 perfect sixes in their long program.
Well, their coach, John Nix, more or less rolled the dice last night, and he made the decision for them that they would only attempt side-by-side double axles, which lowered their base mark. They executed them cleanly, yes, but had they done triples, which they are capable of, but much less consistent with, and done them, they may have jumped up a spot. They may be 4th at this point.
Todd told me today after the practice that he's upset that he thinks this pairs competition is turning into a jumping competition. Too much emphasis placed on the jump, which isn't essentially pair skating. They open with a nice triple twist. It's a lovely program that has been choreographed by former pair skater Leanne Miller. I think she's really added an elegance to their skating.
take it one step further in that there's some interaction between the two of them going on out there. And in terms of a program, in terms of feel, it feels much like Kova Novatski to me. It's got a real subtleness, a real essence of pair skating. Two people trying to work and look like one. Level as far as I'm concerned.
This is the first performance that has brought people out of their seats. A standing ovation at the NEC Arena for Jenny Mino and Todd Sand of the United States. They were in 5th place, but still within reach of the medal podium. Back with their marks when we return to Birmingham.
Marks for Jenny Mino and Todd Sand for technical merit. 5-6.
Welcome back as we get the first set of marks for Mino and Sand with Coach John Nix, a world champion in 1953, 5-5s and 6s for technical merit.
I think we're going to see the second set come up here.
Remember, 6s, 6 of them at the U.S. Nationals, and now the presentation marks. No 6s, but a 5.9 from the Australian judge. That's the best program we've seen so far. Still 4 pairs left to skate as we join Brian Williams.
Thank you, Chris. When the old Soviet Union broke up, many figure skating experts figured that the domination of skating by the new emerging nations, in particular Russia, would come to an end. Well, so far that has not happened, but as Chris reports, the cracks are indeed beginning to appear.
Struggle, a common thread throughout Russian history, captured by David Lean's epic movie, Dr. Zhivago. The Russian Revolution marked the end of aristocratic indulgences, the beginning of communism. Special privileges remained during Soviet rule for those who brought glory to the state, like the Protopopovs of the 60s. Irina Rodnina, winner of 10 world titles with partners Ulanov and Zaitsev. Vestyaminova and Bukin, 4 world crowns and Olympic gold. Succeeded by Klimova and Ponomarenko, Russian royalty on ice. But the collapse of communism marked the changing of the guard in Russian society and its sport. Now even the nation's best skaters have little edge in everyday life.
In time of socialism, the system of sport was very, very powerful. And it was big river, Gold River, which was going to the sport. Now we are really free country. We was looking to be a free country. And now we are really free. We are free from the food. We are free from the good roads. We are free from the shoes. we are really free. And we are free from the good conditions for skating.
Shishkova and Naumov are championship products of the old system, but they train in a radically different environment.
We always had a great condition for the physical culture, to run, swimming, everything. But now we have it. Especially now we have the ice in our city. I mean, St. Petersburg. And we have to go in Moscow to training there. There, in the Moscow, very good condition, but we cannot stay in the Moscow so many times because it's very expensive for our federation to pay for the free for the apartment, for the food, everything.
No money. Everything skaters have to do by themselves. When I'm thinking about conditions which we have now, it's not possible to be good.
So many coaches have left. Irina Rodnina trains Czech pairs champions Kovarakova and Novotny.
For figure skating, I think it's very difficult time, not only for figure skating, for all sports. It's very difficult because a lot of coaches go working in other countries, and before we have, so, you know, the best what I become from my coach and coaches who working in national team, then I begin working. It's all time was like steps up, up, up. Now I feel like this steps is broken.
The Soviet brain drain has taken Rodnina to Lake Arrowhead, California. Ice dance matron Natalia Dubova is in Lake Placid. Few remain.
We are going to lose generation of skaters. Young ones are not coming. Coaches disappeared in different countries to work for their living. Parents can't afford now that the skaters, that their children can skate. And it seems to take some time, and then we start again.
17-year-old European champion Ilya Kulik is that fresh start. He gives Russian skating a future.
У нас остались еще школы, так в Москве 3 школы.
But we still have good figure skating schools, especially in Moscow and also in St. Petersburg, Leningrad. And there are still good skaters skating, practicing. There are still some left, but of course our choice was much bigger before.
Russian coaches and skaters and just Russian people are used to difficulties. And we are very flexible, we are very adjustable to the conditions we were before and we are now. That's why we don't think, oh, how difficult it is. We think, what to do to be on the podium again.
It is that indomitable spirit which will fuel the dawn of a new era in Russian skating.
Thank you, Chris. And speaking of great Russian pairs, there are the defending world champions, Shishkova and Naumov, and they are up next when we continue from Birmingham.